The ultimate goal is financial freedom and not living paycheck to paycheck. Imagine yourself going to the mall today. You buy a new pair of shoes, a new watch, and a new suit. You head out to meet some friends for food and drinks. Then you go home to wind down for the night and watch a good Netflix movie. The next day you wake up and don't have a worry in the world about how much money you spent yesterday because you no longer live paycheck to paycheck. But what if I told you that living paycheck to paycheck was the best thing to ever happen to you? Let me tell you a story. There once was a young boy growing up in downtown LA in the Echo Park area. He's a junior in high school and he comes home one Friday, talks to his mother, and his mom says, "You know, between us, we have only 27 cents, but we have food in the fridge, we have our little garden out back, and we're happy, so we're rich." At this time, he didn't know any different because everyone else around him was also poor, not rich. Because of the 27 cents situation, he's ripped from his mother and tossed into a foster home. He graduates high school as a teenager with no direction and joins a gang. Luckily, his high school math teacher convinces him to get his life together, so he joins the Navy. He only stays in for a couple years, gets out, and starts selling encyclopedias, followed by insurance and shampoo. Nearly 10 years have passed as he burns through his 20s, and then he finds himself fired from his job. Luckily, by this time, he has some sales experience, so he gets a job at another products firm selling hair products. Even though he increases the sales by 50%, he's fired again. Now he's homeless. At this time, he just so happens to have a friend who is a hairdresser. They both understand the hair products market, so they decide to start a company together with a $700 loan. The product they have is a single application shampoo and leave-in conditioner. The two struggle for 2 years getting the product into salons, but on the third year they surpass $1 million in gross revenue. Now 20 years later, after starting other businesses and investing his earnings, the guy we've been discussing is now worth $4 billion. Who am I talking about? John Paul DeJoria, creator of John Paul Mitchell and Patron. In 2011, they asked DeJoria, "Has wealth changed you?" And he said, "Wealth has changed me in a big way, because I no longer go to bed at night and struggle to fall asleep, wondering if I have bills to pay." This is the ultimate goal, right? But wait a second, it's the end goal. And since a goal is the end, what's the beginning and the middle? The beginning doesn't have to be homelessness or a foster home. It is for many people, unfortunately. So ask yourself, where did you start? Then, just like John Paul, what steps have already moved you forward towards your goal? Were you fired? Did you quit a job you hated? Did you rack up a ton of debt? Did you get divorced? Whatever your setback might be, it's your truth and it's part of your story. The most common issue is living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want you to view this as a setback, but view it as a step forward. By living paycheck to paycheck, it forces you to find answers. It forces you to solve your money problems. You have to save. You have to watch your money. You can't go buy dumb stuff, even though many of you do. And if you do, then stop. Living paycheck to paycheck, as I've done, will force you to become better and have the tenacity to overcome your situation. It sounds crazy, but many people who are born rich struggle finding an identity and knowing how to live their life because everything has been given to them. If you're like me, then you have to work your face off to get what you want. But it will make you a better person in the end, and you'll appreciate what you've gone through to get to your goals. The other thing John Paul DeJoria said about his wealth was, "I can do a lot for people all around the world because of the wealth." And that makes me very, very happy. So ask yourself, what makes you happy? Then take your situation of living paycheck to paycheck and use it as your fuel to start creating the life you're meant to live. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to stay updated on the latest. But more importantly, to stay updated on YouTube, press the subscribe button below.